And we are back, y'all. Thank you for watching today. Go ahead and hit that like button, my people. You know that it helps us out a ton. And of course, it helps you because it helps us. Now, y'all, today we're talking about your girl, Fani Willis. You know, y'all, where Fani been? Fani used to be in the headlines every day. Now she looks like she's laying low and she's letting Jasmine Crockett and AOC and other people take the... Fani, where you at? We haven't been talking about you that much. But you know what? Everything that she did in the past, y'all, is still out there and it's coming back to bite her. So even if she does want to lay low or maybe actually do her job and actually put some criminals away in Atlanta, instead of throwing out baseless RICOs on everybody, well, she's still going to have to answer for some of the things she did in the past. Now, here we have this story from the New York Sun. It says, Fani Willis caught red-handed hiding records. Legal group and House GOP demand details on her collaboration with Democrats on January 6th committee. So y'all remember, she's being investigated from her own state, the Georgia Senate, and she's being investigated by private organizations like Judicial Watch.
I mean, we are not just active in Washington, D.C. Obviously, this is where the federal government is. This is where all the money is spent, practically speaking. A lot of the corruption takes place here. But there's a lot of corruption in the states, and the corrupt politicians here in D.C. sometimes collude with these other politicians at the state level. We saw this with the prosecutions of Trump, right? With Fani Willis and Alvin Bragg and company.
And she's being investigated, and her office is being investigated by at least one subcommittee on the United States House of Representatives. So Fani has a lot of people looking into her alleged dirty deeds. Let's take a look.
The House Judiciary Committee is asking to talk with staffers in Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis's office. The Republican-led committee has been looking into DA Willis's prosecution of President Trump. She's refused to cooperate with their investigation. Now, House Republicans have asked for the voluntary cooperation of at least 5 senior staffers in her office. The chairman of the Judiciary Committee tells Fox 5 he wants to know if Willis's team coordinated with D.C. Democrats in the Biden era.
I think these people came up to D.C. and met with folks on the January 6th committee. We don't know who they met with in D.C. We know Nathan Wade came up here because he billed for it. He billed the taxpayers of Fulton County for his work, whatever that was, here in D.C.
House Republicans say if these staffers don't cooperate, they could issue subpoenas. So far, DA Willis's office has not responded to our requests for comment.
So the district attorney of Georgia's Fulton County, Fani Willis, is facing fresh pressure this week from Republicans on Capitol Hill to open the books on her troubled racketeering case against President Trump and 18 others. The House Judiciary Committee, controlled by Republicans, issued a series of letters to Ms. Willis's staff soliciting information, testimony, and documentation about any collaboration between the district attorney's office and the House January 6th committee, which handed up criminal referrals against Mr. Trump and other officials for alleged election interference in the 2020 elections. If she fails to comply, a subpoena could be in the offing. Ms. Willis wrote a memorandum to the chairman of the January 6th committee, Chairman Congressman Bennie Thompson. Congresswoman Liz Cheney was the other leader, requesting records relating to the tribunal's investigation. That request included recordings and transcripts of witness interviews and depositions, electronic and print records of communications, and records of travel. The January 6th committee's findings made their way into special counsel Jack Smith's indictment of Mr. Trump and the prosecutor's final report that projected confidence in a conviction. Now, y'all probably know that Fani Willis has been resisting all efforts to get her to cooperate. She's been resisting Judicial Watch, and she had to pay them something like $22,000 for failing to turn over records due to a public records request. She's been resisting her state Senate which subpoenaed her and she failed to show up.
A state Senate committee investigating Fulton County DA Fani Willis says it will reissue a subpoena compelling her to testify. The Senate Special Committee looking into allegations of misconduct against Willis during her investigation in the 2020 Trump election case. Now, during Thursday's hearing, committee chair Bill Coussert said he will make every effort to have DA Willis testify during this legislative session. Willis defied a subpoena to testify last year, arguing the committee doesn't have the authority to subpoena her.
Now she's facing possibly going to jail or being held, being detained if she continues to flout the subpoena. And she also issued a public letter to her office telling them not to comply or to have limited compliance with the United States House Committee that we're reading about now.
Scandal-plagued Fulton County DA Fani Willis wrote House Judiciary Committee Chairman Jim Jordan a letter accusing him of bullying her and telling him to instead visit children in his district and celebrate Black History Month. Okay, what about Fani Willis writing you a letter accusing you of bullying her? Really, what would you like to know from Fani Willis?
Well, we've had outstanding requests to her for information. We've gotten some. There are people we want to talk to who worked on the Fani Willis investigation. We've deposed Nathan Wade. He came here and said basically didn't answer hardly any of our questions. So we want to do some follow-up. We're committed to getting the answers for the American people on that ridiculous investigation that she undertook.
So basically at every turn, Fani is saying no. At every turn, she's not saying, no, I'm an open book. You listen, sure. We want the public to know everything. No, she's not saying that. Fani's actually saying quite the opposite. I don't have to tell you. I don't have to show up. I don't have to give you information. My office doesn't have to cooperate. This is the public servant, y'all. This is the public servant that Fulton County, Georgia has representing it right now. Ms. Willis calls Mr. Jordan's attempts to, quote, bully her, quote, a complete waste of your time, and accuses him of being confused as to the oath of office to which he was sworn. Now, y'all, I'd like to hear what you have to say, y'all. Do y'all think that the Trump administration is going to go after Fani Willis? Do you think anything is going to come out of all these different investigations, all these calls for documents, subpoenas, etc.? It seems like this is kind of a slow-moving train, and frankly, it doesn't, I don't know. It doesn't, not that I'm hoping that anything will go anywhere. I'm just kind of more or less asking the question. And it doesn't seem like a lot of action is taking place on this. But I want to hear what y'all have to say. Let me know what do you think? Let me know down in the comments. But before you do, please stop, hit the share button. Share this video out with somebody, please, through email, Facebook, text message, WhatsApp, Instagram, Snapchat, or all the social mediums. And also, if you're not a subscriber, please do subscribe. We'd love to have you. Want to thank y'all for watching. Love y'all, and we'll see you back in the next one.